Welcome to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be looking at Igbos who lived abroad in Europe and US but left everything to come and invest in Nigeria and Igboland. This investment spans industry, energy and hospitality. Number 1 on the list, Dr. Gilbert Obiajulu Uzodike. Dr. Obiajulu Uzodike is a US-trained engineer and founder of Cutix PLC, a pioneering indigenous cable manufacturing company in Nigeria. Born in Anambra State, he studied engineering at the University of Florida and earned an MBA in international business. After gaining professional experience abroad, he returned to Nigeria in the early 80s with the goal of building a self-reliant industrial economy in his hometown, Nnewi. In 1982, he established the Cutix PLC, and by 1987, it became one of the first indigenous companies to be listed on the Nigerian Stock Exchange, driven by his vision to reduce dependence on imported electrical materials and promote local industrialization. Uzodike helped transform Nnewi into a major manufacturing hub in West Africa. Cutix remains a symbol of sustainable local enterprise and a successful model of diaspora-led investment.
Quality since 1982. Since 1982, it has been the same story. A story of innovation, exclusive quality, and excellence. Cutix power cables stand tall, offering unmatched strength, seamless performance, and reliability. Built to endure, built to survive. Cutix Cable, exclusive.
Cutix PLC was incorporated November 4, 1982 as a private limited company by Dr. Ajulu Uzodike. Commercial production started in 1984, the first private company east of the Niger to go to the public through second-tier Nigeria security market in 1987 and migrated to first-tier in 2008. It's 100% owned by Nigerians and has 100% Nigerian workforce. Its mission is to power and illuminate the world. Our distinction: 99% pure copper purity, low resistance of conductor on both temperatures, good insulation resistance, properly annealed copper conductor, flame retardance, good strength of insulation, properly galvanized steel wire, complete dimension. Cutix cable is very durable. Cutix cable has products such as house wiring cable, armored and non-armored power cables, overhead conductors, aluminium service cables, flexible and automotive cables. Cutix has the capacity to make 3,000 metric tons of insulated cables per year. Our core values are boldness, excellence, innovation, integrity, openness and proactiveness. Cutix PLC has won several awards, including the following: the President's Merit Award of the Nigeria Stock Exchange for Corporate Excellence for a record of 7 times. The Nigeria Industrial Standards Organization NIS Award for Quality from Standards Organization of Nigeria SON every year since 1993. The National Automotive Council NAC Award for Quality in 1999. ISO 9001-2015 certification.
Prof. Bat Naji is an internationally acclaimed mechanical engineer and energy policy expert. The founder of Geometric Power Limited, Nigeria's first indigenously owned private power company, a native of Enugu State. He obtained a PhD in Industrial and Systems Engineering from Virginia Tech, USA, after a distinguished academic and research career in the United States, serving as a professor and director at the U.S. National Science Foundation. He chose to return to Nigeria in the early 2000s to directly address the country's chronic electricity challenges. He founded Geometric Power with the Aba Integrated Power Project as its flagship, an innovative energy model combining generation, transmission and distribution within a single system to power the industrial city of Abia. Professor Naji also served as the Nigerian Minister of Power and remains a leading advocate for energy reforms and industrial self-reliance.
Meanwhile, in Abia State, the people of Abia are witnessing a historic era of power supply from an indigenous electricity plant, Geometric Power. The Integrated Power Solutions Model Plant, an initiative of former Minister of Power, Professor Bat Naji, targets residents of Abia and environments with 9 local government areas and 3 million people benefiting. Professor Naji told Channels Television in an interview that the power station is a new revolution in power generation in the country.
It's a full utility unto itself, in that we built a 27-kilometer gas pipeline to supply gas to the project, to the power plant, and we built metering stations at both ends of the gas pipeline. So, as a matter of fact, we built the metering infrastructure inside Shell gas processing station, which now is an NNPC, NEPL gas processing infrastructure. So that the gas is taken directly, dedicated to the power plant. We built a power plant that for capacity of 188 megawatts. We've now commissioned 141 megawatts. The 47 additional megawatts will come soon. And the thing about the amount of power that is commissioned is that if you look at Enugu Disco gets somewhere in the range of 300 megawatts. And so this power plant supplies approximately half of what the entire Enugu Disco, which supplies 5 states, power.
We are inside the turbine control panel, and you can see the engineers doing adjustment and configuration of the governor. It's a very meticulous type of work, and this is what they are doing: programming, adjusting to increase the megawatts output from the gas flow. And as I mentioned earlier, we want to make sure that the machine is configured to burn the fuel efficiently, so that the efficiency of the machine is optimized. It's a gradual process, and they are on top of what they are doing. On display is the Aba distribution network. We have 3 gas turbines.
Paul Onwanibe. Paul Onwanibe is a British-Nigerian entrepreneur and the founder of Landmark Africa, a top-tier real estate and lifestyle development company operating across Africa. He studied architecture and construction management, earned an MBA from London Business School, and completed executive programs at Harvard and INSEAD. After working in a corporate real estate internationally, including Cutix PLC, a global service office provider, Paul made a strategic decision to relocate to Nigeria in the early 2000s. His goal was to create a world-class business, hospitality and leisure environment in West Africa. He established the Landmark Center, Landmark Beach, and the larger Landmark Village on Victoria Island, Lagos, an integrated hub for work, tourism and entertainment and urban living. His vision is to make Africa coastline a global destination while promoting diaspora-led transformation in infrastructure and lifestyle.
A number of reasons. So one obviously is in the space that we're passionate about and we have real experience in, which effectively is creating sort of leisure lifestyle destinations. We want to create a whole series of leisure lifestyle destinations along the region, literally along that West African coastline. And we've picked places based on a number of things. Obviously, one is just the environment of the space, the governance around it, and the will and the desire of that city to create a tourist attraction. 2 is the numbers and the people. And 3 is cities that have historic significance and lend themselves to creating a leisure and lifestyle environment. So Enugu falls right into that pot. There's a small emotional reason as well. I went to university in Nigeria in the Enugu campus, and this resort was opened as I was leaving in the 80s. And you know, I would arguably say that it was probably the best tourism or tourist resort, I would say in Nigeria, probably West Africa at that time.
So these it aligns in so many other ways for you as well, and as the group. So the timing is also really great, I would imagine.
Timing is great.
Right.
It's 150 hectares, it's got size, it's got scope, it's got real potential. We all know what happened. Now we've decided to take the best parts of our business, take the experiences that we've had, right, and figure out a way of diversifying. So over the last 8 months, we've looked and done incredible research across West Africa, and we've handpicked 12 different locations that we feel tick all the boxes. To be fair, many of those locations are opportunity-led because they're either governments or platforms that encourage tourism to an extremely high degree. And then they tick all the boxes. So those locations, we've tied up quite a number of them, about I think 4 or 5. And over the next few weeks, we'll be making a few more announcements. So Nike Lake falls right in that and is one of the anchors of that. Obviously, we've announced our Port Harcourt beach show as well. So the whole idea is to create leisure lifestyle locations across this West African region, across the coast, connect them by sea, air and land. We've already had talks with an airline company that we will do packages with and have all-inclusive resorts. So the airline company is extremely motivated. They've already talked about bringing 2 new planes in to help connect these things. We've talked with a European cruise company that does Mediterranean cruises. And right now, the only place they stop is in Gambia. We were going to bring that cruise along and stop in a couple of places in Nigeria. So we'll soon have a few announcements on those 2 places that will stop, and we'll bring those people infield. Now, to understand that whole cruise line industry, some of these ships have 3,000 to 5,000 people on board. And the great thing about them is they don't come out and buy clothes and perfumes and things. They buy local things, local foods, local trinkets. So the millions of dollars they bring into the economy is one-way money.
Right, absolutely.
And it creates a lot of employment for those local people. Yeah. So that's really what we want to do. We want to create a set of leisure and lifestyle resorts and connect all of them. So whether you do it, whether you have...
Talking about potential, we can't talk about that without looking at employment opportunities. Let's get a little more granular about the scope of this project in relation to employment.
Yeah, so this is one of the things we do, and I'll say there are 3 key things, and impact is one of them. And when you talk about impact, employment is probably right at the top of the list of impact. In terms of employment, so even in Lagos, we created employment for 4,500 people, right? And in a country that has a dependency rate of 16:1, you imagine what that does in terms of just the accelerator effect. I mean, Enugu, we expect by the time we finish this, we will create employment opportunities of about 4,000 to 5,000 directly, and probably about 4 or 5 times that indirectly, as you can imagine, the supply chain. So whether it's things like the water that's drank, the chicken that's cooked, the cups and the spoons, and so the supply chain actually sees, and there's an SME sort of accelerator program, because a lot of SMEs provide services to us. So we don't rent out spaces. And what we effectively do is we bring small businesses to partner with it and provide services on the platform that we create. We don't charge them rents. We take from them effectively sales rent. So it's a top line revenue share. So we provide the environment, and we try to get the best of each of these businesses, whether it's food and beverage or experience-related businesses or sports-related businesses. They provide the services. We provide the enabling environment. We share in the revenues. They employ as many people as possible.
So certainly this will have a spillover effect into internally generated revenue. Could we speak to some of the projected numbers around that, just hypothetically at this point?
So it's a tough one, but I think you can fairly say, so His Excellency Governor Dr. Peter Mba has gone on record that he's trying to raise that IGR to I think $30 billion. Within this environment, we believe that we'll create at least, I would say.
Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Be a part of this channel as we continue to bring you more informative, entertaining, and interesting news. On this channel, we are going to be trying as much as possible to bring the best videos, the best news, the best updates in the Southeast, Igboland, and Nigeria in general. Please be a part of the movement. Thank you very much. So the dual carriageway is just literally a few kilometers away from the gates of
the Nike Lake Resort at the moment. And so the full dualization of that road, it will do a number of things. And Nsukka has a population of almost 1 million people as well. Enugu of 1 million people. So it literally connects all these people together. So in terms of trying to get to those numbers of 2 million people a year visitors, that will provide a good incentive. But most importantly, places like this rely on 3 things. One is access, infrastructure, that's transport, people being able to get in and get out. 2 is beauty, and 3 is security. So those 3 things are incredibly important for a tourism business to survive. Things.
As we know, and you alluded to earlier, Enugu is quite the tourist attraction. But when we talk about sensitization, unfortunately, not so many Nigerians are aware of this. So we could allude to the Awum Waterfall, Ngwo Pine Forest. These are, I haven't even been to any of those yet. And I'm sure there's an abundance of that. How do you intend to attract up to 2 million visitors annually to Enugu State with this project?
That's a great question. For those who read Frederick Forsyth's book, Frederick Forsyth basically called Enugu the most beautiful city in the world, and you've given some of the reasons, but it's a lot of it's about the terrain and the people. I think it used to be the capital of the sort of East Central region at the time. So in terms of bringing people, so as a company, our currency is people, is footfall. So we do 3 things. 1 is bring as many people to a place as possible. 2 is give them amazing experiences and enough things to do. And 3 is make sure that they have such a great time that they go back and tell other people. So how are we going to bring these 2 million people? We're going to provide experiences, we're going to provide adventure, we're going to provide things for them to do. Excuse me.
That's all right.
We're going to provide big attractions, and it's bit by bit. In Lagos, when we started, it was sort of 200, 300, 400,000 people. By the end of 2023, we were inviting, if you like, or we were servicing 4.5 million people. So we like to believe Enugu has almost 1 million people in population. The state itself has almost 5 million people. The region has 50 million people. And we will create a resort with such a vibe that I think people will come from all over the country and all over the region. And as I said, we're going to connect all our resorts together by air, by sea, and by land. So we'll do it. So
you're going to be looking at, let's say, experiential planned tours and things like that for those that will be visiting and getting the first experience, which will, of course, sell itself then because there's a lot of potential.
No, absolutely.
Right. But George, well, talking about potential, let's talk about some of the specific developments planned for the initial phase of this investment.
Okay. So I don't know how much you know about the development or the resort, but basically it's a 200-room hotel. It has a number of villas, it has a big, nice lake around it, and a lot of land with some sporting facilities and leisure facilities. So the first thing we've got to do is upgrade some of the existing facilities. And that first phase will involve the master planning and upgrading of some of these facilities. The next phase, which is probably the most important phase, is the creation of sort of the experiences and the adventures that we intend to give to the region. And then the third phase is making it part of a network. So I'm sure later in the discussion we'll talk about why this is so important as a network.
My name is Ikena Wanko. I work with Landmark as a project manager. Ever since Landmark had taken over the resort, we have commenced renovation works in the resort. The renovation, we are going to phase it into 2, phase A and phase B. Phase A is what we're doing now.
We were commissioned at Landmark Nike Lake Resort, Enugu, to do interior design. And so far, we have accomplished, let's say, 50% of the project. Starting by, we have removed the things that we have here, the kind of television sets we have here. So the one that was existing is now part of our concept, so it has been removed. The bed area has been removed.
The first thing we had to do was break the toilet walls because we needed to expand it a bit. The former one was a bit too tight. You'll notice that we have like a dwarf wall. That's because we're still going to have a glass wall to finish up the full height. So right now we're finishing up our gypsum board ceiling. We've screeded, so very soon, like tomorrow, we'll be painting. My vision is to elevate the space to a more modern, but simple, classy, but modern.
This building was erected in the early 1980s, and it was a very massive project back then. So we being part of this great project, is also a plus to our company and to everyone that is part of it.
What Landmark is doing at Nike Lake Resort is actually very beautiful, to give everybody opportunity to show their excellence, to show their differences.
I was marveled because we don't have such here in Southeast. And this is a place that you can actually call a home to come and have a vacation.
We are going to experience the excellence Landmark is known for. We've done it in Lagos, and we want to replicate what the excellence that we achieved in Lagos in Landmark Nike Lake Resort, and let it be the foremost destination in the Southeast, if not in the South and Southeast generally, and if not possible, Nigeria as a whole.